So Enlisted has given us a new weapon, and it's called the Fliegerfaust, or according to Enlisted themselves, the Luftfaust B, and this is very, very interesting. Now, number one, I would like to say this weapon is pretty much guaranteed to be overpowered against humans, aka soldiers like me. Against planes, it will also be quite interesting because it's technically used against planes, but let's move back on to the subject, which is the fact that should have Enlisted even added this. And of course, this video has been made possible for the friends at Discord, meaning if you haven't subscribed or joined Discord, highly suggest that you do, but that's it, let's get started. The reason why I think Enlisted is opening a Pandora box for this one is because the fact that the Luftfaust B is very highly experimental weapons. Now, of course, we can say that other experimental weapons have already been added, such as the AS-44 with this patch, which is also interesting, the Ho-I tank, the list goes on, and most of them are interesting. But unlike all previous weapons, the Luftfaust B is a weapon that, let's just say, is used in the right hands, very overpowered, and when used properly, it's, let's just say, it's Call of Duty style weapon. So essentially what I'm trying to say is that if Enlisted is adding these weapons that are similar to the weapons that they have in Call of Duty, Enlisted is turning into Call of Duty, is what I'm trying to say. Of course, adding the Luftfaust B is an interesting take because now we have weapons like the AS-44, which by given all means, those weapons were used, but less so of the AS-44. And this really stems to the conversation of should Enlisted be historically accurate, or should Enlisted be more fun? And honestly, I think there is a balance between the both of them. I honestly think the Luftfaust B is just going to be more of a weapon that's going to essentially, depending on the 20mm damage radius, it might even slightly break the game if they know what they're doing against planes and stuff like that. But there are a lot of weapons in game that Enlisted can use, and I've been covering some of them through my Enlisted Gold Order weapon suggestions to some effect that are both historically accurate and are very good at killing people. One good example is the STG-44, PPSH-41s, and the list goes on. My concern with adding the Luftfaust B with a lot of other things is the fact that Enlisted is just turning the game into more and more like Call of Duty. And of course, Enlisted is no hell let loose, that's confirmed. But compared to Call of Duty, Enlisted does offer something new, and that's the squad system. But if you take away the squad system, then what Enlisted have is a makeshift Call of Duty with not enough weapons similar to the Call of Duty, which is a problem. As of right now, Enlisted is only somewhat, depending on your situation, depending on the weapon that you're using, semi-historically accurate, because of a lot of things that were going for it. Number one is the fact that it's missing uniforms, and the list just goes on, including the weapons that we have in-game. Adding the Luftfaust B is not going to make or break the game like always, but it is going to just spark up the conversation about historical versus fun for Enlisted. And if you want to ask where I am, I'm in between. I personally don't think they should have added the Luftfaust B. I personally think that is slightly overpowered. The weapon I think they should have added is the Panzerschreck, or Panzerbusse 54, or a 88mm reusable anti-tank rocket launcher developed by the Germans, similar to the American bazooka. That thing also has a shield, which I think, honestly, if you ask me, I think that is a way better option for Enlisted to add. But for some reason, they added in the Luftfaust B, which is, like I said, not a bad weapon, just a weapon that's highly controversial because of its deployment in World War II. As a matter of fact, I am definitely 100% sure there were more Panzerschrecks, or Panzerbusse 54, than this Fliegerfaust, essentially. But what do you guys think about the Fliegerfaust? What do you guys think about the weapons? What do you think about this update, or should I say the event? And personally, what do you guys think about historical versus fun? Because as of right now, I'm pretty sure in the comment section, people are just going to be saying, oh, historical is better for Enlisted. No, fun is better for Enlisted. And if you ask me personally, I think both can be used in game. But that's it, that's all for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the Discord. I'll see you in the next one.